Upcycle a old chair into a bold, chippy boho beauty. This is what I started with. Really kind of old, banged up, a lot of dings. It already had a nice crust going on of its own, but I wanted a little bit better of a chair. Hello my friends, it's diys-by-dar, and Mother Nature is still messing with me. I cannot get out and work in my barn, it's still too cold, but I gave a sneak peek on my last video on what I'm working on. My other little clue is I received the mini wine fridge yesterday and a couple wine bottle holders. So that's my next project, pretty big one. I've done big ones before, but I just never recorded them. So this is going to be my first one that I'm actually going to record, and I'm quite excited to get out there to do it. But in the meantime, I have another chair I want to do. This chair here, from the very first picture that you can tell, it was really old and grungy. I purchased the chair for $5 from a garage sale, and they said it was a very old chair that was in their family, and by the close-up you can tell that it has a lot of that kind of bumpy look to it, like sea salt gives it. And I probably, if I went over it right now where it's at, I could probably get some of that chippy look, but I want to add some colors this time. So I've got some Dixie Belle Sea Spray, 2 Dixie Belle colors here, mermaid tail and rustic red with gravel road, my favorite color, and I couldn't remember what it was called. But I'm going to try to go ahead and put some layers on this chair, then go back and see if I can chip it up, and I'll save the rest of the design for when we get through the video. What I had to do is, this chair smelled so bad, I had to take it outside when I first brought it home and scrub it really good and rinse it with a hose, let it dry out in the sun, and I was spraying something else with Boss. So this has gotten a big spray with white Boss, and I had it sitting in the background of something else I was spraying, so it got all the little red speckles all over it, which is okay because it's going to kind of be a rustic piece anyway. So let's quit yapping and let's get working, and we'll get to it. I used the zebra cylinder brush, which works great on chairs, with my first coat of gravel road. I wanted a plain, simple coat to start with, because if I hit that white, I knew I was getting down to the primer. I started with the sea spray and about 4 to 5 ounces of the same paint. I only used 1 scoop. And you can see it is really thick, almost like oatmeal. So I went ahead and just started with just an old $1.50 throwaway brush to tap that on wherever I wanted that to go. And here's what it looked like after that first coat dried. Since this is the same, I went ahead and did the second coat of mermaid's tail. Now I'm on the final coat of the rustic red, mixing it all the same, 4 to 5 ounces of paint with 1 scoop of the sea spray. This brush was toast after this. When you pounce it like that, you ruin it. Now it was ready to try to scrape it, and it was as hard as a rock. You can see I just took a big chunk out right there. I went ahead and scraped all the top big chunks that I could get off, and then I was going to have to go ahead and resort to bringing my new sander out, the Surf Prep. I had a 1/2 inch pad on there with a coarse grain on it. And this really started to take some of that surface down because I wanted to see some of that mermaid's tail. Well, after all the sanding, it's time to bring that shine back up in that beautiful red. So I used some bare wax because it was what I had open, and a big bristle brush that I use for clear waxing. And I went ahead and I started my waxing process, and I really made that brush swirl and tried to get in and all them tiny little crooks and crannies and divots, and went ahead and did this whole chair. When I buffed it up, it was absolutely just rock solid and shiny. It was missing something. It was too perfect. I needed some dirt, so I took some easy peasy wax and some Dixie dirt because I wanted this to be very subtle, and I went ahead and sprayed the area where the detailing was at, and then it was sticky. Oh, here comes my dog.
Hi, baby.
She thinks I have some food, something new. It's like, nope, not any food. All right, see you later. So spraying it with that easy peasy wax wets it up just a little bit, wiped off the excess, and then I'm ready to go ahead and put some of that Dixie dirt in those crevices to give it a little bit more character and a little bit more depth. Okay guys, this chair is done, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll go with the glamour shots here and the once over. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Please like and subscribe, and I try to get a video out every 2 weeks. It's a little hard now with me taking care of my mother-in-law. I maybe get 2 hours or 3 hours a day to work on a project. My next project's a big one, and I've been waiting for the weather to get nice here in Michigan, and today it's supposed to be 50 degrees, so that means I can get out into my shed and I can start working on my wine bar. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.